Sawadee, it's me Teya, Suchira. If you want to know more about Thailand, please make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you will not miss anything about my country. Today is on 13th of October. It's a very important day for Thai people because this day is the day that the King Rama IX, who we love very much, he passed away 4 years ago. If you've been here before or if you know a little bit about Thailand, you probably know that Thai people love the king very much, especially King Rama IX. We love him so much, and he died 4 years ago. The reason that I wanted to mention about him is just because this king, he was a very important person in this country, and he's been on the throne for 70 years since he was 19 years old until he passed away when he was 89 years old. So King Rama IX, for myself, I call him, he's my king, he's my father, because everybody in Thailand love him like he is our real father. So on that day when he died, it feels like our heart is breaking. And on that day, it was very, 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 very sad. When I think about it again, I feel like crying again because we Thai people love him and miss him very much. The King Rama IX, when he was 89 years old, he got very, very ill. I mean, like, of course, he got old, but in the same time, he wasn't really healthy at all for many years until on that day, on 13th of October 2016, there are lots of Thai people just went to the hospital. That hospital where he stayed is called Siriraj Hospital. Many of them just went and sit on the ground, and we all pray because we heard that he got quite bad. Okay, so people went there and they just go to pray and really hope that he can got through this kind of hard time. But at the end, we got like official announcement on the news that the king already passed away. On that day, on that moment, when we hear that the king passed away, it's like everybody cry, no matter how old you are, how young. You know, we all cry because we felt like we lost our real father. And when everybody cries, you feel like you're strong, but you can't be strong because we all feel the same feeling. We feel love to the king. The King Rama IX, for myself, the reason that I really love him so much, because I've seen him since I was young. Actually, I've seen him since I was born. I was born in like a countryside, but in the past time when I was young, before I go to bed, I really wanted to watch Tom and Jerry. But before the cartoon, it has to be the royal news. In Thailand, one of the reasons that we love the king so much because we have royal news every channel. So like Channel 3, Channel 5, Channel 7, Channel 9, blah, blah. Every channel, when I just turn on, you will see the royal news, they play at the same time. So you cannot run away from seeing the king in the news on that time. So usually the royal news started by 8 p.m. And after royal news, it's going to be Tom and Jerry. So I can't run away watching what the king doing. Today, what the king is doing, what time went there, he went there, he went there, he did that, he did that. And for myself, when I was young, I feel like, oh my goodness, it's so boring. I thought like it was very boring because, you know, it's the same. It looked the same, he did the same. Not like he doesn't go to the same place, but, you know, he just did that like work for the country. It's the same, but you know, when I was young, I wasn't really appreciated about what he did for us. And then that is a picture that I got used to, and I feel like I grow up together at the same time, seeing the king got old as well. And a feeling that I started to realize like, oh my God, the king got old when we had a big celebration of when the king got on the throne for 60 years. That year was 2006. That year we had a big celebration of 60 years for the king get on the throne. All Thai people wear yellow. So that's why you see me wearing yellow, because I particularly wear this color for my king, King Rama IX. I feel very lucky to be born in the reign of King Rama IX. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a chance to see these beautiful things in Thailand, because everywhere I go, I just see like everyone wear yellow. No matter how young, like a little baby, to like very poor people, they could find just t-shirt to wear yellow to show how much we love the king. And on that day, we went to just like a big square where the king just stay in the middle of the building, and then, all yellow colors that Thai people just sit and wait for the king to just come out and just wave to us, that kind of feeling when the king make a wave to us. I feel like I want to cry, because I'm very appreciated to see him, and he's still alive back there. And the picture of what I have seen when he was young and all the activities that he did for us, it just, came out. I saw since he was very healthy and young until he get older. And I just still starting to feel sorry for him. Like, he worked very hard for us, and since he was young, and then he even worked until he get old, even when he died. So Thai people, we are very, very, very lucky, and we feel very special to have the King Rama IX with us. So on the day that he died, on the next day, we moved his body from the hospital to go to the Grand Palace, because we keep his body inside one of the buildings inside the Grand Palace. A lot of Thai people come to just sit by the street and wait for the car of the king coffin passing us. It feels like heart is broken. After that, we keep his body for 1 year. That's true. We kept his body for 1 year just to open a chance for anyone to come to just, saying goodbye to him inside the Grand Palace. So we keep his body very well, so you don't have to worry like how could you keep body for like a year. It's very good system. And every day we have a monk come to pray, a lot of people come to just, pay respect to the kings inside that palace. And since 13th of October, all Thai people have to wear, actually we don't have to, nobody have to tell us, we all wear black. We wear black. For how long can you guess? 1 year. If you came here in 2016 until 2017, you would probably see like Thailand didn't look happy, not looking fun at all, because you can imagine like everywhere on the street, clothing is only black color. People walk on the street, they all wear black. It's all black, 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 black color for 1 year long. So in my wardrobe, in my house, people, you can imagine like when people wash their clothes and hang it, you will only see black color. You walk in a shopping mall, you would only see black color. And during the year when he passed away, the Grand Palace also still open. So I still work as a tour guide, and I saw a lot of people come to just pay respect to him. Every day people come and they are required to wear like long skirt for ladies, and a man has to wear long pants and then very proper clothes. Plus you need to wear cover ankle shoes, which is like, it's impossible for like a farmer, people in the countryside, they don't have that kind of special clothes like that. But this is some things happen in Thailand, because outside the palace we have clothes, we have shoes for anyone who don't have to wear. Yeah, so sometimes I saw the picture of like very old man came and he has no belt. He only used like a rope and tied it, and it looked beautiful. I mean, sad but also beautiful to see, like, he tried his best to just reach to see the king and reach as close as to the king's body, just saying goodbye for the last time. People came to the palace. It's very long queue. It's like you can spend like all day long. And also, like, once it's all year long, can you imagine, like, rainy season, summer time, it's so hot. Can you imagine, like, people have to wear long pants and long skirt, and then has to be on the line and just reach to the king. Some people just, can't stand and get faint. But the beautiful things around the Grand Palace, I just feel like I don't think I can find anything like this in the world, just only Thailand. Because once when people came to pay respect to the king's body, it was like all the food, drink, is all from volunteer. It's all totally free, everything all free. So when I had a tour, I took the tourists to the Grand Palace. When we came out, even though we didn't come to pay respect to the king, but we all got food because people wanted to support each other, because we knew that any Thai who came to pay respect to the king, we have the same feeling. We have love to the king. So we wanted to support each other. That's what's so beautiful, and I feel very appreciated. When the king died at the beginning, I was so sad. And at the beginning, when I work, I do like a tour with the tourists. I feel like crying. When I did tour, I cry a lot. I cry a lot in front of the tourists. I am usually a strong person, but this feeling is too hard. It's too hard to be strong, because we love him so much. And I started to be a guide when he was very healthy, and to see him, work until see him died, and the coffin is located inside the Grand Palace where I always do work. And I feel like, oh, what is going on? Sometimes I just cry so hard, and the tourists gave me like tissue paper, and sometimes tourists cry together with me because they could feel how much I love, and we Thai love the king. Yeah, so it was very hard time for Thai people. Even today, when we think of him, we could cry because we miss him very, very much. So for myself, when I went to do tour for almost every day, I just feel like, oh, come on, I will come and pay respect to the king later and later and later and later. I kept postponed until it's the end of a year, and I felt like, oh my God, it's like they announced already, like this month is going to be the last month. This week is going to be the last week that we would allow you to come to pay respect to the kings before we started to prepare for a cremation to the king. And I feel like, oh my God, I have to do it. After 1 year long, I never done it. So it's like, I think it's on the last day, almost 1 day before the end, I went there. I started to go from 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 o'clock in the morning, I went there by myself. I feel very, very, I'm very happy that I went there alone. Otherwise, I would feel sorry for anyone who went there with me. And I arrived there by 2 in the morning, and it was like long queue already. And after that, I started to be in a long line and wait and wait and wait. After waiting for like 3 hours later, I feel like, okay, 3 hours already, so why not? 5 hours already, why not? At the end, I could pay respect to the king at 9 p.m. I never done anything like that to anyone in my life, but I feel like at the end, I feel like my body got broken because it was so hard time, but very, very good because when we were on a long line, we had free food, we had free drink, people just keep walking around, and we had mobile toilet, so we felt comfortable, just only have to be patient. A lot of Thai people who went there, we have the same feeling that the king worked so hard for us for a whole his life, for 70 years since he was young until he died. How about only one day? Can't you do it for him? I feel like, yes, I can do it. So I was very happy that I did it. But this is something that's so special that I don't know that anyone could do it. Yeah, and it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And then for Thailand, when we died, we do cremate because we Buddhist. We made a crematorium hall in the front of the Grand Palace, which is so beautiful. A crematorium hall is just like we make it from a belief mixing, combination of belief of Hinduism, Brahma, and the king and everything. So it came out like a heaven. Yeah, they make like a lot of statue of mythical animal or anything, just like anything special to get ready and send him to heaven. So people who make this kind of crematorium hall, they are all volunteer Thai artists. They came to work for the king for free. It's just because they wanted to be part of this history. And it's so beautiful to see something like this. We had so many volunteers, did many things for him as well. So we did the funeral on the 26th of October 2017. So that year, a lot of Thai came to the funeral. But myself, I feel like, if I went there, I just sat and wait and see the funeral. I feel like, we all felt the same. So I decided myself to be a volunteer working in a kitchen, which is not far from the crematorium hall. But I would rather did something which is very useful for him, because in that kitchen we did like, lunch box, dinner box and everything, and this box will be just, give it away to any Thai who came to the funeral area. But I just really like cut vegetable or clean or anything, whatever I could do. And I feel like it was very good. It's better than just only waiting for sending him to the heaven. That is the end of the funeral day. And after that, we wait for a couple of days, and then we started to put the color clothes back. But the king is always in our hearts. One thing I found that after the king passed away, I just searched a lot on YouTube, look at his video, look at what he did and everything, and kept crying. And so it wasn't only me. I asked my friend, everybody got obsessed in watching the king's video and everything, that it teaches me a lot, like, wow, it's true. Sometimes we never appreciate it when somebody who we love still alive. So I take this lesson to myself that I want to do the best to my parents so I wouldn't feel regret later. I hope that this video is useful for you, and if you want to support my channel, please give me a thumb up, or you can share to your friends, and you probably wanted to subscribe my channel. And if you want to support me, you want to buy me a coffee, you can have a look in the description how to buy me a coffee. And thank you so much for watching until the end, and I will see you next time. สวัสดีค่ะ